Charlie.
What's up, Taylor?
Dude, that nerd in his electric hybrid totally blew the light while texting his yuppie friends.
That's so bogus, bro. Are you hurt?
Yeah, like I can't move my hips, bro. I think I broke my pelvis, man.
Dude, no way!
Taylor, you need to drop a dime and talk with the lawyers at the Advocates Law Firm.
No way, can't afford that, bro.
Your crotch is broken, man, and they don't earn any money unless they win your case.
Dude, no way.
You get injured, the advocates get results. Contact them today at advocateslaw.com.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
What's up? It's your boy, The Fed Smith. Thanks for listening to the Men's Room Daily Podcast. Want more? Check out the greatest podcast in all the land, The Podcast. Be sure to subscribe and listen to a brand new episode every Tuesday night.
Somebody out there deserves to be recognized. And the Men's Room knows just who it is. So to you, we say, bottoms up, sailor. You're the toast of our shot of the day.
Drink time it is, and as usual, we head to the drink desk and Stephen Throwhill to find out who we're toasting.
Yes, indeed. Today we toast an unidentified woman from Wenzhou, China. This is a rather unfortunate story. Last week, a man and two women decided to enjoy a little menage a trois, and her honoree was one of those two women that decided to get in on this action. Now, the problem was they decided to do it in a car, and unfortunately, disaster struck because during their intimate automobile session, the handbrake was knocked loose, and the car rolled down a hill. And it continued rolling down the hill until that car crashed into a tree. Now, the trio, they, of course, were forced to dial emergency services because they contorted themselves, as they say, in unorthodox positions. We understand why. I do not have, but I wish I did have the make of the car so we can get an idea. Was it a bigger vehicle, smaller? Either way, for all three to do what they were doing, they had to put themselves in awkward positions. But when the rescue workers finally arrived, the man and one of the women had thankfully already been pulled from the car by onlookers. That's uncomfortable, but they were safe. The second woman, our honoree, she was not so lucky. Emergency workers were forced to pry the naked woman from the car before wrapping her up and carting her away to the hospital with two broken legs. Everyone is expected to make a full recovery from the incident.
Well, at least they gave it a shot.
They did give it a shot, man. You break two.
In a car.
They're in a car. They're having a three-way. The handbrake gets knocked loose. We understand why. First of all, if you do a menage a trois in a car or have sex in a car at all, don't do it on a hill. Right? I think we can all agree on that.
Yeah.
They overlooked that. The car didn't stop till they hit a tree. I don't know what position she was in. I have like 5 different ideas. Broke both of her legs.
Damn.
Yep.
I don't know. That must have been spur of the moment.
You think?
I don't know. Just like, that just seems crazy to try that in a car.
Like I'm driving down the road, you got two chicks in there like, Teddy, we decided we would have sex with you. And granted, I would pull over in a heartbeat. All right, let's do it. But yeah.
Yeah, because your rule goes out the window if I get that question. Like, what are we on, Denny?
Yeah. Hey, whatever. Well, we drink to her. I wish her a speedy recovery. We pour this booze and we drink this booze because we think it's yummy.
Yummy!
So over the tongue and down the throat to party in our tummies. Down the hola, bichola!
The Men's Room presents Profile This.
Hey, Stephen Throwhill, can you please tell everyone how Profile This is played?
I sure can, Miles. It's a simple game where we share with you a real-life news story, something that happened right here on planet Earth. Earth. And as you listen to the story, based on the stereotypes you believe to be true of people and the decisions that people make, we'll ask you what it is you think makes a story a story. Hello, Candy. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Hello, hola.
Hola. She tastes like candy. All right, Candy, you understand how this here game is played?
Yes, I understand how to play.
All right, well, you have one of 3 categories to choose from. We have the wonderful world of drugs. We have Bite Me, in other words, what did someone find in their food? And finally, interior decorating, where you guess the foreign object that ended up on the inside of someone. What direction would you like to go today?
I would like to go to interior direction.
Oh, I like the slur.
You realize it's going to be in my head all night now.
What's that?
The song.
On every time we play this.
Interior decorating, I'm in the butt, singing it all night long.
I have to tell them, like, when I get home and the kids are around, like, stop singing it out loud. Seriously, dude, this song gets stuck in your head. All right there, Candy, here is your song. We go to the fine country of Japan, where doctors there say a man's accidental ingestion of something left him dealing with months of pain in his back and leg, all caused by the object getting stuck in his rectum. Now, once it was removed, the man's troubles actually went away. The 67-year-old man first reached out for help when he'd been experiencing 2 months of pain along his right butt cheek and his thigh. MRI scans suggested that the source of his pain was stenosis around the lower back. That's a condition where the spaces within our spine begin to narrow. And then this narrowing can then pinch the surrounding nerves, leading to painful or numbing sensations. But though stenosis can be managed conservatively with drugs and physical therapy, the doctors opted for surgery to treat it. When they performed a CT scan on the man just before the operation, they found a surprise in his rectum. A 7-centimeter-long thing eventually determined to be a specific thing that the man had accidentally swallowed.
Oh, so he got it stuck the other way.
Yeah, he didn't put it in there. It was working its way out, but it got stuck. 6 days after the find, the man's pain in his right leg, it quickly got worse. That prompted the doctors to remove the object from his butt as soon as possible. Thankfully, after they did, his pain went away, has not come back since, all but confirming that this object was the real cause of his symptoms. Now, that is the good news. The question is, what is the object that he accidentally swallowed but got stuck in his rectum? Was it a shrimp shell, a pen cap, a chicken bone, or a toothpick? So shrimp shell, pen cap, chicken bone, or toothpick?
I think it was a chicken bone. What do you guys think?
Where's that again?
It's in China.
It's in Japan.
Oh, Japan. So it's feasible.
It's in Japan. It's about 7 centimeters long. Let me make sure I got that right. 7 centimeters long, right. And he accidentally ingested this thing, swallowed it. Just, for obvious reasons, got stuck on the backside, caused him all kinds of pain. As soon as they removed it, he was okay. So they didn't have to do the spinal surgery. So that's the good news for this guy. Shrimp shell. It's a shrimp shell.
Ted's going shrimp?
Shrimp. I remember Bubba talking about all kinds of things you could get stuck in your butt.
Candy, what are you thinking? You going to stick with chicken bone?
I'm going to stick with chicken bone. It seems like I think I could accidentally swallow if I was eating fast enough. I think it's possible.
And have it stuck in your butt.
I'm going to go with toothpick because I think this is how Steve's going to die. Okay. Final answer on that chicken bone for you, Candy?
Final answer.
Okay, we're going to find out what was in there. A shrimp shell, a pen cap, a chicken bone, or a toothpick next.
That was a tease.
Hey, all the Macholos, thank you so much for listening to the Men's Room Podcast.
And thanks to our pals at the Advocates Law Firm for being great partners. Yes, even you, creepy Kyle.
Seriously, though, if you'd been injured as a result of somebody else in your car, on your bike, walking across the street, talk to our friends at the Advocates Law Firm and let them help you out.
Yeah, they're the best injury lawyers around, and they want to make sure that you're not taken advantage of. Plus, your first consultation is free.
It's simple. You get injured, the advocates get results. Contact them today at advocateslaw.com.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
You're the one who protects the flock, and that requires an eye for detail. Because when safety and well-being are on the line, it's the details that can save lives. Even when no one else is watching, you see everything. Grainger gets you, and we're here for you, and all the ones who get it done with a wide range of safety products and solutions, plus board-certified safety consultants here to answer your questions. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The Men's Room returns with Miles and Thrill. 99.9 KISW.
All right, we head to Japan on profile. This topic is subject interior decorating. Guy swallowed something.
Yeah.
I'm not sure he realized he swallowed it. To be honest,
I don't think he knew.
He just had stomach pains, and then 2 months before surgery, doctors found something he swallowed. They removed it. Question was, what did he swallow? Was it a shrimp shell, pen cap, shrimp shell, chicken bone, or a toothpick?
And Candy?
It tastes like candy.
That is a question that we asked you. And you went with a chicken bone. You said it seems reasonable because he did, in fact, accidentally swallow. And you said you yourself can picture yourself accidentally swallowing a chicken bone.
Yes.
And I'll follow that up with, therefore, you could picture being stuck in your rectum for 2 years. But either way, sadly, it was not a chicken bone, Candy. Ted, you went shrimp shell. Why is that so hard to say?
Shrimp shell?
Shrimp shell.
I thought I was right on that.
And the Miles, you went toothpick.
Toothpick.
Boom! You're correct.
Nice.
Huh, I didn't think they used toothpicks in Japan. What? I have nothing to back that up.
Okay.
I just really thought he was eating a shrimp and got excited.
My general belief, they do not use toothpicks.
Thought it was, just here.
Now for all TV news all time, it's time for TV Time with Ted.
And now, because your pathetic life is confined to countless hours in front of a talking box, Armageddon. The Men's Room presents TV Time with Ted.
All right, your choice today, the Jimmys,
Jimmy Kimmel, Jimmy Fallon.
Seth Meyers,
Seth on the list.
or Ted Smith.
Is it Ted or is it Lane?
It is right there in the title. All these guys have teams of professional writers to come up with their monologues each and every night. It is up to you to determine, is this an actual late-night joke? And from whom? Or could it be a The Ted Smith original?
According to an in-flight safety system run by NASA, the rise of in-flight mistakes is being blamed on the pandemic because pilots are rusty. Don't worry. It's just like riding a bike at 30,000 feet above the ground.
Ted Smith.
Fallon.
According to a safety reporting system run by NASA, the rise of in-flight errors during commercial flights is being blamed on pilots being rusty because of the pandemic.
Don't worry. It's just like riding a bike 30,000 feet above the ground.
For the second year in a row, the Coachella Music Festival has been canceled. There was some talk of doing it virtually, but it turns out doing Molly in a crown made of flowers isn't the same on Zoom.
The Ted Smith.
Yeah.
Kimmel.
But for the second year in a row, the Coachella Festival is canceled. There was talk they might hold it virtually this year, but it turns out doing Molly in a crown made of flowers isn't the same on Zoom. So...
You know, I have a buddy that works security at Coachella.
Oh, yeah?
So it's a great gig.
I can believe
I'm
that.
sure it is. If you like nudity.
Yes, I think that's why it's a great gig.
O.J. Simpson received the coronavirus vaccine on Friday, but maybe still stay 6 feet away from him.
The Ted Smith.
Seth Meyers.
O.J. Simpson received the coronavirus vaccine on Friday, but maybe still stay 6 feet away.
The Hollywood sign on Monday afternoon briefly read Hollywood, and 6 people were arrested over the incident. Local officials have commented that it's unacceptable to do this since nobody has ever gotten ahead in Hollywood because of boobs.
The Ted Smith.
Yeah, that was me.
That's a good one.
All right.
You know, the irony of that, some of the comments are like, you can't deface this, it's so important, it's a landmark, etc. You remember like 5-6 years ago, they're about to tear that bitch down. And the one person that came up with the cash to keep it, the boob man himself, Hugh Hefner.
I know. I thought about working Hugh into a joke here.
Yeah.
I've also heard it's not that impressive.
That is the one thing I've heard. Like, we know it is a landmark, it's something we all see, but when you physically see it, you're like, all right.
We were there. I kept looking for it. I couldn't find it.
I mean, it's just a sign that says Hollywood.
Can you see it from downtown Hollywood though?
No, downtown.
You can't.
Yeah. A woman in Minnesota is on a quest to find her wedding dress after she paid for it to get professionally packaged 14 years ago. But when she pulled it out, she realized her dress had been swapped for someone else's. The woman was like, this can't be my wedding dress because it doesn't fit me anymore.
The Ted Smith. Come on, Ted.
Yeah, come on, Ted.
Jimmy Fallon.
A Minnesota woman is on a quest to find her wedding gown. Wendy Taylor pulled out the box she paid to have professionally packaged 14 years ago, but she was shocked to find her gown had been swapped with someone else's.
The woman was like, this can't be my wedding dress because it doesn't fit me at all.
Can you imagine paying for that? Waiting 14 years to pull it out?
14 years.
So that tells you how important it is.
Exactly.
I mean, look, I'm with you, but I'm just saying, like you'd be furious.
Well, sure, man. You got someone else's crap because it's not what you paid for.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going to wear it again. Oh, I can't.
So I'm sure most people have heard Dustin Diamond, a.k.a. Screech from Saved by the Bell. He passed away. He was only 44.
Yeah.
He was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer 3 weeks ago and just completed his first round of chemo. The funny thing is that, like, not funny, but he wasn't a smoker. He thought the cancer may have come from asbestos and, like, seedy motels he'd stayed at while he was on the road.
Or the one night with Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Yeah. But they're not sure where it started from or how he got to it or where it showed up, but it spread to his lungs. Then the end came pretty quick there. They said it was terminal and might have a year or two left. Obviously that was wrong. But yeah, that's just brutal. He had 2 final wishes. One was to meet Justin Chancellor.
All right.
The bassist from Tool.
From Tool, yeah.
All right.
That's yeah, I know who he is.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at.
I'm a bass nerd, bro. I know who he is.
You're the only person that would know that.
I'm like, who?
I know. And he wanted to see Star Wars at Disney World, the exhibit at Disney World. Or is that at
Disneyland?
Yeah. But either way, obviously he didn't get to do that. But yeah, I mean, hey, if you're a Tool fan, why not? And listen, Dustin Diamond had a little trouble over the years there. I know he got into a drunken brawl with somebody and somebody got stabbed and he wrote that book. But obviously, when somebody passes away, most of the cast members and everybody had very nice things to say. Sure. And it's sad. And it's also like 44. Now, granted, I'm 40, but 44 is young.
Yeah. He wasn't invited back to the reboot.
No.
I mean, there was a bunch of things there.
Yeah. Right. But look, that's the issue with death, right? Ain't no coming back from it.
Nope.
So whatever, even people you might not like, you don't wish death upon them, and you don't want to see that happen to anybody.
And wasn't he one of the most just favorite characters on that show?
He's like the Urkel of the show.
Wasn't he the comedy element of it more so than the dating element of it? Wasn't he the guy who was there for the comedic fodder?
He was there for that. I would say, like, Urkel, though, was like the whole Urkel was the main part of the show.
I know,
so
but
Screech,
as far
Screech
as
was more for the funny stuff.
I've never seen any of Saved by the Bell, but I knew who Screech was.
What I'm saying is, this guy can't go into a bar without people losing their mind and watch that show
and yelling Screech
and sending him shots and everything.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah. The thing is, too, especially for like people like my age, like that show was just, that's what you watched on Saturday mornings. Yeah. Then you followed them to the college years, and then they had movies where they went to Hawaii and this and that. So you're right. It's a huge part of people's childhood, adolescence, right? Because it was a little more adult than
and
the
back
rest
to what
of the
you're
Saturday morning stuff.
You don't expect people to pass on at 44.
No.
From cancer, no matter what. I know the disease is awful, but...
Yeah, exactly. 44 is just young there. Let's see. All right, this happens every year in the Super Bowl, but this year I think it's very special because sometimes players will show up and give out tickets to people in the city that they're representing to deserve it.
Sure.
This year, obviously, it's a lot more impressive because not only are they hard to get, there's only 14,000 being sold. I was wrong when I said it was they'll be up to 22,000 in attendance,
but 14 being sold.
Correct.
Right.
Right, because a lot of that's got to be
the players, coaches, the officials.
I would think. I think Pepsi at least gets one suite. They're sponsoring this.
I'm going to go ahead and say yeah.
Show. Right, so you got to get all those people in there too. So you're showing 14,000 tickets total, going for thousands of dollars. Kansas City Chiefs fullback Anthony Sherman, he gave 2 tickets to a young fan who's suffering from an inoperable brain tumor. And then he's only got 6 to 9. He was given 6 to 9 months to live, but that was almost 2 years ago. So that's pretty cool. Gronk, he gave it some healthcare workers, which is awesome. It's just funny. Like, nobody sounds like Gronk besides Gronk. I'm sure his brothers do.
Maybe.
Yeah. I know. It's amazing that he made it that long on the Patriots.
He's good. That goes a long way.
You know what? That helps. But
you knew who he was. He wasn't trying to hide it. But the thing was, when he went to Vegas, he went with his dad. Even his brothers.
He's all family.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't like he did. Right. And you never heard about him punching someone or being a jerk to someone or assaulting anyone. Or, I mean, I'm not saying it didn't happen. I'm just saying you never heard of.
No, people party with him.
Being a terrorist. He's the guy that you know him to be. You don't go there to get in a fight with him. You go there to party with him.
I agree 100%. I also agree that I don't think Bill Belichick. I would also say I don't think Bill Belichick cares for the man, and they're just
probably not
two different individuals.
Right.
That's why I'm saying it's kind of shocking that he lasted that long there.
Yeah.
I mean, winning cures all, but
yes, it does.
Yeah, if you heard Tom Brady's comments from a couple days, or they asked him about Belichick, and he said, "Look, we had a great run. He was a great coach, and this and that." Like, I think if you ask Gronk, Gronk would still be Gronk, and probably would just be like, "We didn't get along. Throw me the damn ball."
I will say this.
He can't crush a beer can on his head.
If I could, just knowing the distraction aspect of it, your family's coming down, or these people are coming down. Like, you can't go to dinner with them. You can't hang with them. You have to make sure they're taken care of.
Right.
Make sure they're someplace. But it's not the same. Yes, they want to go to the game, and they don't care. They don't want to be involved in that. But anytime the regular Super Bowl happens in its normal form, there's a ton of distractions going on.
Sure.
As far as, does this person have tickets?
Sure.
This person wants tickets. Where's this person going to stay? And all the families communicating. I think it's good that, these guys can just have a clear head.
Well, that's what I think. I can't remember if it was Andy Reid or who's the coach of Tampa Bay?
Arians.
Bruce Arians. One of them was talking about that it has been much easier and stuff because the teams aren't even down there.
Teams aren't there, which means less media crap. And no offense to the sports media, but you guys ask the dumbest waste of time questions ever. Leading up to the Super Bowl.
And I don't mind
in particular, leading up to the Super Bowl, it bugs me. Look, we worked in sports media. I always hated the questions they asked. Like, are you stupid? But leading up to the Super Bowl, it seems a lot looser, more free-for-all, and I'm just not sure all the players carry. Because some of the players are there, and they're intense dudes. They're here to win a goddamn Super Bowl. They do not care if they are popular or anything. It's like, man, this is what I signed up for. This is the dream come true. I have the opportunity. And somehow, in the 2 weeks leading up to the Super Bowl, more than any other time, as far as I see, the questions they ask, like, why are you here, man? Well, it would be fine if it's Nickelodeon because they expect children to ask those questions. So if it's a Nickelodeon thing like they did for some of those games, you go like, it's fine, and players know. But when they go out there and see adults, like, leading up to the Super Bowl, stop with the dumb stuff, man. This is...
Yeah, but you got to...
I know.
But also part
it's
of
always my position.
I know, but it's also the Super Bowl.
I know.
So half the media there has nothing to do with sports.
Look,
I've personally done it.
I know.
But they're not in
Dude, I get it, and, like, it'll never change. That's my position on it. Don't waste their time. These guys train for this. I mean, to me, it's an insult to them. And I know people feel different, and it's fine. They can do it. They continue to do it. I don't know. To me, it's just the bottom barrel crap.
I think the bottom line is, if you really wanted an intelligent football question, none of those guys are going to answer any question about X's and O's.
No.
Because that's all top secret stuff. So if Guillermo wants to go up and go like, what's chicken wing you want, flatty or drummy? They're going to answer that question, but they're not going to answer anything about schemes or, stuff that would actually pertain to the game.
Yeah. Right. And again, it's Super Bowl week, so you got a lot of people there asking different questions. I will say this, though. It's also a good week. It's funny, because this week, even though people aren't there, I'd imagine you're still going to see a bunch of people on TV, on the NFL Network.
Oh,
on
absolutely.
ESPN, right? Because, guys got to get in their sponsors, too, right? So Russell Wilson, I feel like every year I see him down there. Like, he does an interview, and then and actually, I'm kind of excited to see what Russell's going to say about the offense. But then at the end of the interview, you always got to toss one, too. Like, so Cheerios brought you down. But yeah, man, I got involved with Honey Nut Cheerios. We're doing a lot of things for kids and whole grains.
I'm a shredded wheat man.
So you always get that stuff in there, too. Let's see. If you're watching some TV tonight, maybe check out the Wheel of Fortune. Where are they going to be, Thrill?
You know what? Tonight, they're going to be talking about Seattle. I guess they've been going around the country. Honest to God, I turned it on like 7:25. So
what, Seattle-based questions, you mean?
No, as best I can tell, I guess they were in Boston last night. Again, I didn't watch it last night, but Pat Sajak and they're saying goodbye, right? And he says, thanks for being in Boston, blah, blah, blah. Hey, tomorrow night we'll be in Seattle. So obviously they're not here live, but tonight's show, whenever they taped it, it'll be our city's opportunity to shine.
Reverend Infuego, wasn't he on Wheel of Fortune back in the day?
He was.
How did he do?
He didn't win, but he had to bite his tongue for months.
Yes, he did.
The way he's like, I can't talk about it.
Because I remember I asked him in the hallway, tell me you got 2 jet skis or an RV.
I just know that's the one show I'll never be on.
Wheel of Fortune?
Somebody you go in there and win.
Oh, that's a good point. Thank you, Ted. We appreciate it. You are listening to The Men's Room.
Oh!
fiddlesticks! What, Wilbur? We just got hit and I think my back has all been out of shape.
You gotta talk with those whippersnappers at the Advocates Law Firm. They're the best injury lawyers around.
What? Pipe down, Clarence! Abner's telling me about the lawyers and the advocates. So what happened to you, Abner?
I was walking across the street with the light when some young punk came screeching around the corner. I lost a toe.
What? Shut it, Clarence! If you get injured, the advocates get results.
AdvocatesLaw.com.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
5X480. Dayton B100 V-Belt, one of the many parts Grainger carries. It's also the item that helped Rob carry the day. The job was on hold, deadline fast approaching. But a quick search on Grainger.com and Rob found his part. And with same-day pickup at his local branch, he and his crew got the job done, safely and on time. Get supplies and solutions for every industry with real-time product availability. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Men's Room returns with Miles and Thrill. Now, let's see what's happening in the real world.
All right, here we go. Florida man builds a basketball court and playground for his kids during COVID. Oh, and a roller coaster. Meanwhile, 11 Fort Bliss soldiers got sick drinking antifreeze, which hurts more than putting your swanch in a toaster. 6 arrested after changing famed landmark to Hollyboob. Woman buys banana the size of her arm, and she's going to need some lube. And a 19-year-old in a coma for a year wakes up to COVID. It's time for your headline.
Now, it's time to hit the headlines. Here's my call.
Top story, we go to the UK where a local grocery chain has just lost a customer. It's no surprise to anybody that stores frequently rearrange their setup in an effort to get frequent customers to spend more time looking around the store, hopefully persuading them to add something to their cart that they wouldn't originally have gotten. But one customer has had enough. He's got anonymously to the press saying that the mix-up is already annoying in an ordinary situation, but to do it during a, quote, killer pandemic is irresponsible, and he will no longer be shopping at that chain.
Absolutely. Now to go to another chain where I don't know where the stuff is because that's not where I shop.
I'm not going to go that far, but it is annoying.
It is annoying, but I think we can all get through it.
It's a slight annoyance.
I understand the psychology behind it. He's saying, look, we're already trying to stay socially distant. We're trying to limit the amount of time that we're out and at these stores. Given the mix-up.
All you need to know is the science of grocery store shopping is way beyond your mental capacity.
Yeah.
And whatever they're doing, it's going to be better. Right. It's going to be better for your shopping experience. Trust me.
It's not necessarily that, Miles. Sometimes it's just financially for their own gain.
Well, of course, but it's still going to be more efficient for me as a customer.
Okay.
To spend more money in their establishment.
There you go. That's more. There's a reason why the dairy section's all the way in the back. So you have to walk by everything that's in there.
You just came in for milk. You got to walk through everything.
Right. So I agree with both of you.
The dumbest thing is,
but like Mike's right. Like it's not always more efficient for the shopper. It's just,
but the science is there for them to make money.
The dumbest thing is vegetables first.
Why? I don't think anyone's excited to buy vegetables.
Because after you buy all your crap, you might look in your cart and go, if vegetables are last, you're like, I need to get some decent food in this cart.
But I think the thing about vegetables, cost-wise, they're not as efficient, right? I mean, they do jack up the price, but right. So for them, like, look, cereal's going to make them more money than buying a couple tomatoes.
Right. And when you walk in, you're going in with the mindset if you're going to get actual good food.
So you start with the produce, right? I mean, I don't even buy produce. But you walk to the grocery store, I can't help but walk. It smells good.
Right.
They get spread. If they started with, like, breakfast cereal, I'm in and out.
Let's see. Another news, a woman in New Delhi may be ruined on bananas for the rest of her life. The woman took to social media to show a banana that she had recently bought, and somehow this banana grew to the size 3 times larger than any other banana she's ever gotten.
Much like the Grinch's heart.
To prove it, she took various photos of the fruit posed next to something to give the idea of the size, even running it along the length of her arm, which had stretched from wrist to elbow. She says it's the sweetest banana that she's ever eaten. This thing was massive.
I was glad that she ended with that.
It was a big banana.
It was a big-ass banana.
And if you've got to have a second, if you're not driving, take a look at the size of this banana. This thing is massive.
If I saw that, I'd buy it.
Yeah.
I'd be like, dude, look at that banana.
Right. You'd bring it in.
That damn thing.
That thing would go rotten before I'd eat it just because I'm showing it to everybody. Like, you will have to see the size of this banana.
I don't do that with a Rutzer.
You get arrested.
That potato's way too big for me to eat.
Let me show you this big banana.
Be great for fries.
I would try, man. I try. I love a baked potato. Someone has pulled another prank on Hollywood sign. Remember a little while back the story of people that changed the sign to read, quote, Hollyweed? Well, someone upped the ante and changed the name to Holly Boob.
Holly Boob.
By hanging posters over the letters that needed changing.
Holly Boob.
After being caught, the 6 perpetrators said that they did it in an effort to raise awareness for breast cancer.
And of course, they're lying. You can do a pink ribbon, or as Ted said, wait till October.
Because nobody looked at the Holly Boob sign and went, you know what, breast cancer is a thing, then we need to solve that.
I would also, like, if that's a tab on a porn thing, Holly Boob, I'm clicking.
Holly Boob.
Hell yeah.
That's if your headlines are there. My God,
Holly Boob. Thank you, Mike. We appreciate it. We'll see you next time for Who Sucks Less. The lovely Taryn Daly is up next.
Yes, indeed. It is all true. But in the meantime, we be all up out this bitch. So until next time, please do what you do best. And for Aletha's sake, stay beautiful.
The Men's Room has been taped before a live studio audience. Wardrobe and makeup provided by Mantastic Limited. This has been a presentation of the Men's Room Radio Network. Oh, man! A Double Flush production.
That's news under the hour. From KISW in Seattle.
50 years of KISW.
This is Kurt from Nirvana spending quality time on KSW.
It's Mr. Bruce's Neighborhood. 99.9 KISW. And KISW HD1 Seattle. A radio.com station.
$20 million, $19 million, $6 million. These are all awards recovered for clients of Phillips Law Firm. To win big, you have to fight big. And Phillips Law has been fighting the too big to fail insurance industry for decades. Not every case will have a multi-million-dollar outcome, but Phillips Law will fight just as hard to recover the outcome you deserve. If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident or on the job, call or click today at 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.